Heyo everybody, Haku here with my read-through for the second part of Magical Girl Raising Project, or Mahou Shoujo Ikusei Keikaku, ACES Chapter 5. So yeah, either way, sorry this one's a little bit late. It's probably not going to be up until like Friday night, but that just means you have less time to wait until the next one on Tuesday morning, or well, Tuesday in general coming up. So yeah, these are still, I'm trying to keep them every Tuesday. This week is just a little bit wonky. Stuff is behind because I'm still trying to catch up from when I was sick on everything. But yeah, the first part of this, the first 15 pages, was insanely good. I loved that Bluebell Candy section we started with, and then we had the Deluge section, which I was like, it's kind of hard to tell in the video, but like me, I thought it was going to be much more visible in the video because I had like tears starting to come out of my eyes. I was trying to hold it back so that I didn't get that like cry voice because I'm trying to read a novel essentially, and like I don't want my voice to keep cutting out because I'm like crying through trying to read everything. So I was like trying to hold it back as hard as possible, but every time they mentioned like Quake or Tempest or Inferno, or especially whenever they mentioned Prism Cherry was the most. I would just be like, I was distraught reading those first 15 pages. They were good. And it was like a really good look into Deluge's character and Deluge's character and Bluebell Candy's character. It was a really, really good look into their characters. I liked it a lot. And at the end, we saw that they have found Flair just hanging out. So there's bound to be more intrigue to come. So for this one, I'm going to try to go another 30-ish minutes, 20 to 30-ish minutes, so I'll probably get to around page 30 is where I'm hoping to get to, which normally would be like either done with the chapter or almost done with the chapter, but this is 101 pages, which is insane, so it just feels like this is going to take me a bazillion parts to get through. And like I said, right now I'm just really busy, which is why the videos are sticking to around 20 to 30 minutes. But if I get some more time in the future where I've got less on my plate, I'll probably crank up the length of the videos to maybe like 45 minutes to an hour. So yeah, just for right now, 20 to 30 minutes is what I'm sticking with, so gonna probably get to around page 30, I think. At least that's the goal, is to hit 30 by this read-through. Another thing that last chapter had me thinking of, though, just to continue some more discussion that I wanted to have, just really quick before I get into reading, I always struggle with, I'm like, do people get bored of my discussion? Do they want to just hear me read? Or do people like, I mean, from the comments, it generally seems at least, people want my discussion a bit. But just one point I wanted to bring up really quick. I love the concept that has been central to the core of this series when it comes to most of the villains, or when it comes, just in a general sense, a big recurring thing, especially with the villains, is that they are looking for the ideal magical girl. And I love the idea that we've seen what the ideal magical girl is, and because they are the ideal magical girl, they can't be the ideal magical girl. So what the villains are searching for, they can't have. Because Snow White is the ideal magical girl. We saw it in the first arc, with what Hardcore Alice saw in her. She was someone who devoted everything to helping others. She didn't want anything to do with killing. She devoted everything she had to helping, even during the killing game. Like, when it seemed like there were no more magical girls, she was a magical girl. Snow White was the ideal magical girl. Kind of on the inside is the ideal magical girl, but it's because she's the ideal magical girl that she dirties her hands. She became the magical girl hunter. She fights, presumably occasionally. I don't know exactly if we've seen her directly just straight up murder people, but I would assume she kills. So becoming the magical girl hunter, in the eyes of these people searching for the ideal magical girl, she sort of sullied herself or dirtied her hands. She isn't the ideal magical girl anymore, but it's because she is the ideal magical girl, or was. She wants to help people. It's because of that she became the magical girl hunter. And we saw a second magical girl who again was the ideal magical girl. So we've seen at least two. The second was Prism Cherry. We saw it with Flea realizing she is the ideal magical girl. She's kind of what I've been looking for, but that's why I need to let her go back. Prism Cherry was the ideal magical girl. That's why she went back, and that's why she could not exist. Because what would the ideal magical girl do? The ideal magical girl would sacrifice everything. They would sacrifice themselves to protect others, to help others. Just like Snow White sacrificing herself in terms of devoting her life to hunting evil magical girls. Prism Cherry literally sacrificed her life. So because she was the ideal magical girl, that's why she couldn't be the ideal magical girl. She had to die because she was the ideal magical girl, and that's what the ideal magical girl would do. And just talking about Prism Cherry, because of last week's read-through, really had me on that topic again, and it's a topic that I love, that what the villains are searching for, what the villains are trying to do in this series, can't be done because the ideal magical girl, they sacrifice themselves. They do what it takes to help others, and that sort of makes it so that they can't live being this like sort of fancy, put on a pedestal, what you would see in a kid's anime magical girl. They can't be that because on the inside they are that. So I love that. I love that concept that the ideal magical girl doesn't exist because they, by being the ideal magical girl, they can't. So I love that. But either way, let's get into actually reading finally. We're at page 15 with Monoshiri Michan. So, and I guess now she's going to be fighting Ripple, so we'll see what happens. Hiding behind the trees, Michan steadied herself. The demons that she'd called for reinforcements had already been cut down. All of them were killed by homing shuriken and kunai. Precise, and it didn't miss too. Michan felt a stinging pain behind her neck. She pulled out a kunai that was stuck there. Her body was bruised, and many parts of her were bleeding. Luckily the shuriken and kunai have yet to reach any vitals or broken any bones. Still, she needs to switch up her game plan. Gun to shotgun. Her rifle became a shotgun, changing the ammunition to supply for higher spread, at the cost of low range. Michan couldn't die here. Her team needed her. Glacienne, Dark Cutie, Deluge, they were all talented people. They knew how to defend themselves, but still, they needed Michan. Glacienne was a scout, but she wouldn't know what to do with the information she gained. Dark Cutie often acted on instincts rather than common sense. And Deluge, well, Deluge is Deluge. You don't really know what she's going to do. Michan didn't fully trust her, nor did she trust Bluebell Candy. Meaning, Michan needs to survive this. Michan's a character that's interesting. We don't really have as much background information on her, at least that I can remember, as we do Glacienne or Dark Cutie. Nor do we have as much reason to care about them personally as Deluge or Bluebell Candy. So they're kind of stuck in this place, and they also did the bad thing of killing a character that we do love and care about, or at least leading to their death, Sarami Nakano. So they're sort of a character that it's hard to care too much about, especially up against freaking Ripple, but still, here we go. Meaning Michan needs to survive this. She's damn well going to survive this encounter too. Michan heard a rustle in the woods, the shadow of the ninja running across the trees, throwing her shuriken toward Michan. Blam! The spread of the shotgun blast destroyed the shuriken as well as some tree branches as well. A bit redundant. Now's her chance. She ran as fast as she can across the open mountain road. She needed to go down the mountain path. Then she felt a pain in her legs. The shuriken and kunai had hit her. She lost her balance and tumbled downward. She quickly turned around on her back. More shuriken aimed at her head. Blam, blam, blam. She stood up, shotgun at the ready. She looked at her surroundings. It was like a farmland field. There was some grass, an oil drum with smoke coming out of it, a truck, driverless, at the side of the road. More shuriken. Click, Shit, out of ammo. Michan threw away the shotgun. She removed her white coat as well. She grabbed one end on her right arm and another on the left, and she stretched it widely. She allowed the shuriken to hit the cloth. As long as their momentum was stopped, they wouldn't be able to hurt her. It doesn't matter if they hit a wall or a pillow. The shuriken that flew over her began to change their flight patterns. Instead of flying in a flurry of 3 shuriken lining up, they flew spread out, near impossible for Michan to block with just her cloth. She ripped up her cloth and stuffed it in her pocket, and ran as fast as she could across the trail. She picked up some stone pebbles on the road and made sure the shuriken were all lined up. There was a whole flock of them flying toward her. First wave. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now. Pebble to panel. The pebble she placed on the road turned into a large wooden panel, completely covering the road, and tall enough to protect Michan. She heard the thumping noises of shuriken hitting the wood panel. She took cover over. She had a feeling it's not over. Or she just took cover, I guess. She had a feeling it's not over. Michan was right. More shuriken passed through above the panels, making a boomerang-like trajectory to hit Michan from behind. Plan B, have to hit them one by one. Michan's fast, so she has the reflexes. She just needs a weapon that can both block and attack. She grabbed the wood panel. Lumber to cleaver. The wooden panel shrunk to a cleaver knife. Michan deflected each shuriken heading toward her, expertly cutting them apart. However, sometimes she's not fast enough as there are many shuriken. The ones that passed through harmed Michan's elbows and shoulders. She resisted the pain, but focused on making sure nothing hits her vitals. The ninja was on the other side of the mountain road, hidden in the trees, throwing multiple shuriken and kunai towards her. Each time, Michan was able to maneuver her body so that the shuriken would all line up perfectly for her cleaver to hit. The ninja girl jumped down from the trees. Perhaps she was out of range. She threw several shuriken from down on the ground. Then she jumped and threw shuriken from above. She landed on some tree branches, jumped across the forest, and threw shuriken from there too. She's planning a 360 attack, impossible to block with a simple bladed weapon. Michan needed a faster weapon. Hatchet to latchet, latchet to lasso. The cleaver she was holding turned into some shoelaces, which then turned further into a rope that Michan could use as a lasso. She began to twirl it around like a whip. She didn't need to catch the shuriken, she just had to hit them once to swing their trajectory off. Slash, slash, slash. Michan whipped the rope around in a 360-degree angle, hitting any shuriken coming close to her. Michan was experienced in many types of weaponry. She had to, with her versatility. I really like this fight. This is really good. Again, all of Michan's fights have been really cool. The kunai and shuriken wave kept coming. Michan struggled to keep up, and more of them began piercing her skin, even if she's catching all of them. The problem is the ninja. She had to get the ninja. She was hiding somewhere in the forest, so Michan had to get close. But Michan can't just run to the forest. The ninja will know for sure. Michan had to strike from somewhere the ninja couldn't see. High in the sky. First things first, she has to make sure none of the projectiles hit her. More shuriken. Michan had to cover both the shuriken and her ascent. Lasher to boulder. She placed the rope on the ground, then the rope transformed into a tall, gigantic boulder, blocking almost all of the shuriken headed for Michan. The boulder was tall enough that the ninja might not be able to get a line of sight. Michan theorized that she had to use the line of sight. The shuriken's obviously magic. Being half blind means she has terrible depth perception, so she may just need line of sight to her target and just throw it randomly. With the boulder covering Michan, she can now begin to fly. She took out the last grenade she had. She also untied her necktie. She pulled the pin of the grenade with her mouth and threw the grenade close by. Tie string to tight string to kite string, kite string to kite. Michan quickly climbed up the boulder, and when the grenade blew up, the force of the explosion propelled the kite upward. The wind carried Michan up in the air. The speed of Michan's ascent was enough that she was able to cover a large distance, heading toward the forested area where the ninja was hiding. Soaring through the air, Michan breathed a sigh of relief. Michan looked down. There was only one direction the shuriken can attack from now. She saw them. This is kind of a dumb plan, though, because it's hard to dodge in the air. Shuriken and kunai were shooting up, coming from a certain area in the forest. Michan quickly made a mental note of where the general area they're being fired from was. She had to land there. Wire to fire. The kite string became fire on Michan's palm. She moved the fire toward her cap as it burned Michan's cap. Without a kite, Michan was now in free fall, headed down to the forest. She aimed her trajectory toward the forest. Soon, she'll be face to face with the ninja, but first she had to deal with the shuriken shooting up toward her. Luckily, Michan was prepared. She opened her palms. Diving down, she had them face downward. The large gusts of wind from the fall swept through her palms. Squall to wall. So she could even turn the wind into objects. This is such a cool fight. This is even cooler than the Surami fight, I think, which was really creative and cool itself. She stretched her arm downward, letting the gust of wind that passed hit her palms. The gust of wind became a large iron wall. The wall covered all of Michan's descent, and the shuriken and kunai headed toward her didn't have time to change trajectories. They were all stopped by the giant falling wall. Michan also now has a large platform where she can get cover from attacks underneath. She positioned herself in a crouching position above the wall, like riding a crashing shield. Michan felt her destination coming closer, no shuriken or kunai being thrown. Michan aimed the wall downward for a reason. Not only was it to shield her from projectiles thrown from below her, but it also covered her from line of sight. Michan's theory may have been true. If the ninja needed line of sight, Michan wasn't going to give it to her. Her only hope was to fight her in close quarters combat. Michan braced herself for impact. As the wall was about to crash land. Crash! The wall landed straight in the middle of the forest. Michan jumped off on impact and took out the ripped cloth she'd stored in her pocket earlier. Her objective was complete. She was within the trees. She infiltrated the ninja's hiding spot. Now to find the ninja. Michan looked around for any signs of life, being careful not to attract unwanted attention. The crash would alert the ninja to Michan's location, not the other way around. Michan kept an eye out. She focused her hearing. Rustle, snap. Michan heard branches and twigs being stepped on. She held tightly to the tattered cloth in her hands. Then she saw her. Fast as lightning, the ninja threw shuriken straight at Michan, while also running toward her at blinding speed. She's fast, rag to rod. The tattered cloth on Michan's hands became wooden sticks, and Michan used them to block the oncoming shuriken. The shuriken stuck itself to Michan's rod, and now she has a sharp weapon to defend herself. The ninja, however, was not just a long-range fighter, it seems. She took out her katana and she began attacking Michan in close range. She was agile and quick, and Michan did her best to block the sword slashes, but Michan received a hit that tore through her coat, and another that wounded her arm, and another that wounded her leg. She would be able to block some of the ninja's sword strikes, but not all of them. The ninja was just too fast. But Michan had her smarts. She had to disable the ninja's sight. She waited for a chance to strike. When the katana of the ninja came in once again for a swing, Michan locked blades with it. Leverage is key. Michan had both hands, versus the strength of the one-handed ninja. With the ninja's hand holding her katana, she can't use her shuriken. Now's her chance. Time to blind her. Stick to stink. Michan held her breath, and the wooden rod became a cloud of smoke, one that smelled horribly bad. The ninja was taken aback, but Michan wasn't done yet. Stink to ink. Michan waved her open palm across the cloud of stench, and it became a black gooey substance, attaching itself to Michan's hand. She punched the ninja in the face and smeared black ink over her eye. The ninja made no noise, but it's clear she was in distress. She was trying to wipe the ink from her eye, shaking her head. So she does need line of sight for her magic. No time to let her rest. Michan grasped her palm on the cloud of stink. Stench to bench. From there, a park bench manifested, Michan grasping two of its four legs. The ninja was disoriented, and Michan swung the bench hard on the ninja bench weapon. The force of the impact sent the ninja flying toward a nearby tree, but also broke the bench in half. Michan saw the ninja heavily bleeding and coughing up blood, but still she tried to stand up, katana at the ready. She's tough, too. Michan had no weapon. The ninja was going to engage in close quarters again. Michan saw more of her ripped clothing from the sword fight earlier, but first she needed to get rid of this half bench. Shoddy bench to shoddy gun. Michan's bench shrunk to a toy gun. She dived toward the ripped cloth as the ninja got back on her feet and charged toward Michan. Rags to bags. Packs to axe. Michan turned her body Michan turned her body around, now equipped with an axe. She blocked the ninja sword strike. And I love that, I guess the best way to describe her power in English is just she turns things from words that sound similar to other words that sound similar. I know it's more of a specific thing in Japanese, but just in English, I think a good way for them to localize it is to say she turns things into things that sound like the same word, which is such a cool and creative power. She blocked the ninja sword strike. Michan swept the ninja, but the ninja front flipped away, kicking Michan's face, sending her tumbling down down onto the forest ground. Blood was streaming down Michan's mouth, and if it weren't for her earpieces, it would have been leaking through her ears too. The ninja began darting to Michan again. Michan couldn't hope to match her in close quarters. The ninja's too fast. So, we shouldn't fight close quarters. Michan spat out blood, shoddy gun to Tommy gun. The Tommy gun, a submachine gun, used to be popular with American gangsters in the Prohibition. Normally this gun needs to be held with 2 hands. The recoil would be unwieldy with 1 hand, for a human. Michan isn't a human. Michan's a magical girl. This fight is so good. So, handling a gun in one arm and an axe in another isn't impossible at all. Not for someone of Michan's strength. Rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat. Bullets sprayed across the forest. The ninja wasn't prepared. Several bullets hit her torso, but she immediately stepped back. She deflected most of the bullets with her katana and dodged away. The submachine gun wasn't supposed to be used for long-range combat. Its effective range is medium range. It also discourages opponents from getting close. Michan focused fire on the ninja's katana. Despite being a magical girl, the force of the bullets was still being pitted against the force of a single katana sword. Michan hammered the trigger on the Tommy gun, the sound of gunfire blazing across the woods. The ninja dodged to the right. She dodged over to the left. Michan was fast, anticipating her moves, forcing her to deflect with her katana. Sure enough, with the force Michan exerted, the ninja's katana was blown away, launched straight into the air. The ninja, now hands-free, began to backflip away to the trees again. She was going to try to do long-range tactics. Oh no, you don't. The small fire that was still on Michan's cap was still burning. She placed her hand on the flames. Fire to lather, soap to rope. The fire turned into a bubbly substance, and the bubbly substance turned into a pile of rope, one that Michan used as a lasso. She twirled it and caught the ninja mid-flight. The rope that she used was launched and used to wrap around the ninja's leg. She pulled on the rope and slammed the ninja through the tree branches down to the ground. Michan began pulling the rope, dragging the ninja toward her, but the ninja also pulled on the rope using her leg, shifting Michan's balance apart. Michan fell down, and the ninja was quick to react, stomping the foot with the knot down on Michan's chest, pinning her down. The ninja pulled out a small short sword, wakizashi, different from the katana she had before. I didn't know that Ripple carried 2 swords. I guess she does. Why didn't I know that? Either way, different from the katana she had before. She brought it down to Michan's head, but Michan was faster. With one arm she held it firm, and with the other arm she grabbed hold of the knot of the rope on the ninja's leg. Knot to knife. The knot turned into a knife, and Michan spared no time stabbing it toward the ninja's leg. The ninja screamed in pain, and Michan took advantage of this to push forward, kicking the ninja off of her. This is such a good fight. I know I keep saying it, but holy crap, this is good. Michan gripped the axe and ran toward the ninja, but the ninja was fast, and immediately she deflected Michan's strikes with her short sword. This has got to be the best fight in the series. I can't think of any other fight this detailed and just creative and good. The ninja kneed Michan and continued her onslaught, Michan trying desperately to hold on and fight back. Alright. With the short sword... Sorry, did I read it in my head. Did I skip Michan gripped the axe and ran toward the ninja, but the ninja was fast, and immediately she deflected Michan's strikes with her short sword? Either way, I just read it. The ninja kneed Michan and continued her onslaught, Michan trying desperately to hold on and fight back. I had read that one paragraph, in my head, but I had just I could not tell if I had actually read it out loud or not. With the short sword, the ninja became a lot faster. The weight of a short sword was lighter than the katana, and the ninja was already fast to begin with. Michan had no choice. The next blow from the ninja wasn't deflected with Michan's hand axe, but instead caught with Michan's right hand. The blade cut Michan's palm, but Michan held on, blood pouring through it. She gritted her teeth, stopping the blade and locking the ninja in her spot. Sword to board. Oh, she's going to change her like Ripple's own weapon. The ninja's eyes widened in shock. No one was prepared for their weapon to change before their very eyes. That is cool. The change was sudden, too. The wood board had a different length than the sword, so the ninja's sense of balance was disturbed. Michan pulled on the ninja's red scarf, headbutting the ninja and cutting off her wooden board with the axe that she held. Michan then swung the axe, but the ninja did the most unexpected thing. She blocked it with her right palm, gritting her teeth but not screaming in pain. Michan punched the ninja in the stomach, and, with the grip on the ninja's scarf, she threw the ninja away, pulling the axe back. The ninja tumbled across the ground, and Michan walked over to finish the job. When she got close, however, the ninja held the wooden block, or what remained of it, in her right hand, and swung it fast toward Michan. Instinctively, Michan blocked with her right arm. The backhand swing of the ninja was hard, and Michan had forgotten that her right arm had only recently healed. It broke before in the amusement park. It was still recovering, which means pain shot up through Michan's right arm as a wooden smash was heard. Bits and pieces of the wooden block flew off, and Michan's head felt dizzy. She looked down at her arm. Blood, and her bone was sticking out. That explains the pain. She numbed the pain in her head. The ninja was also in pain from the axe wound. Michan dodged the ninja's punches, and she bit the axe between her mouth. Okay. Grabbing the ninja's scarf, taking her down by pulling it violently downward, the ninja landed face first on the ground. The ninja was pinned. Michan kicked the ninja in the torso, rolling over the ninja's prone and bruised body. When Michan got on top of the ninja's body, pinning her down, she only had a split second to realize the ninja was holding something in her mouth. The ninja spit it out, and Michan felt a sharp sting in her forehead. The ninja had spit out a kunai hidden in her mouth. Michan's head became even more dizzy and confused. Her ears started to ring, too stunned to speak. And of course, I think that counts as a throw, so it's guaranteed to not miss. The ninja grabbed Michan by the collar, and she began headbutting the kunai stuck in Michan's head further in. 1, 2, 3. 3 hits, and Michan stumbled backwards. The wound could be resisted. Michan's a magical girl, and her willpower helps in any battle. But she's losing a lot of blood. Her body's getting weaker. Michan fell to her back. She grabbed her axe, biting it in her mouth again, and using her free hand to pull out the kunai, gripping it in her left arm. The ninja rose up while coughing out blood. She climbed on top of Michan's body. She gripped her fists, but Michan was faster. Michan stuck the kunai she held on into the ninja's leg, and when the ninja reacted, Michan grabbed the ninja's red scarf, intending to pull her neck closer to the axe in Michan's mouth. The ninja resisted, trying to pull away. Michan also tried to pull her in as well. The two powers were locked in. The ninja grabbed hold of Michan's left arm. Both fighters only had one arm left to use. The ninja rolled away, bringing Michan along with her. Michan had to get the upper hand here. She leveraged her body until she was the one who was pinning the ninja. She took out the axe, now filled with blood, sweat, and saliva. She gripped it tightly in her left arm. She lifted it up. She felt pain in her body. Her grip released. Michan let go of the axe. She coughed up blood. What happened? She looked down. Her scholar's uniform, once white, was now drenched red with blood. Sticking out of her stomach was a katana that fell from above. This katana. Michan thought that she disarmed the ninja before. Now it makes sense. The ninja's power isn't limited to shuriken and kunai. When Michan shot and disarmed the ninja, she'd already launched her katana up in the air. Okay. So this whole time she used magical girl strength to just fling the katana like a bazillion miles up in the air, knowing that at some point it was bound to come down straight on Michan because of her power. The rest of the fight was a distraction. The katana was the real threat all along. She had deceived Michan. The ninja had outwitted her. The ninja violently pulled out the katana from Michan's back. Michan lost power to her body, falling backwards. Shit. The ninja looked down on Michan's body. The world seemed to slow down as the ninja raised her arm. Katana pointed down and pierced it down repeatedly. Man, just like she did to Swim. That was the best. That was the best fight in the series. That beats anything we've seen so far in terms of fights. Man, that was good. From the creativity, the twists, like turning her wakizashi into a board, or to the katana being the real threat all along. That was the best. That was the best fight. That was so... My mind is blown by how creative that was. That's one of the best fights I've read in general. Like, light novels, manga, anything. That was so creative and good. Magical Girl Raising Project continues to impress. But either way, gonna end this one here and start off with Fall on page 30 next time. Yeah, I loved it. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, and comment down there to tell me what you thought of this part of the chapter and what you thought of my thoughts and reaction on this fight. It was amazing. Subscribe for more Magical Girl Raising Project. Tons more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want, and I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel or talk to you there. If you want a link to our Discord server to talk to me or more of us on Discord about this series or anything else, we talk about this a bit there. At least everybody tries to do their best without spoiling me, of course. So yeah, thank you to everybody for that. And also, if you want to help support the channel and make it so that I can keep making videos on Patreon, then it's patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description. Patrons also get to give suggestions and vote on more new series for the channel. Right now, the current one going on with that they have selected is Assassination Classroom. And once we finish that, or if I decide to add another show, then you'll be able on Patreon to give suggestions, and then I'll put the suggestions in a poll, and whatever wins we add to the channel. So yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching once again. I love this series, and I love the community too. The Magical Girl Raising Project community has been amazing to me. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.